Welcome to Integrity Inspire, your daily dose of inspiration and motivation, featuring the bright and talented members of the Integrity Marketing Group family. Now, here's your host, Integrity co-founder and CEO, Brian W. Adams.
Well, hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining today's Inspire podcast. I'm so excited to be here with another incredible partner. We've added so many amazing partners to the Integrity family, and today I'm excited to announce that we have added the Insurance Superstore to the Integrity family, and I'm joined here by Brad Keating, the president of Insurance Superstore. They're based out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, and over the years, they've really built an amazing business serving people with their Medicare and ACA needs all throughout Colorado and many other states out there as well. So I'm super excited to have you. Welcome to the family, Brad.
Thanks,
really
Ryan.
excited, man. Hey, this is a lot of fun for us. We've been catching up, and why are you so excited about joining Integrity today?
I was at the point in my career, I wish I had known you guys 10 years ago, but having that support, I mean, you get tired of doing things. And, and I'm not a big enough operation. I had to do everything.
Yeah.
And I hated it.
Yeah.
And I was just tired of it, and there's things I like to do, and there's things I don't like to do, and the things I don't like to do, you guys are doing for me. So I appreciate it a lot.
Well, I think you hit on something. I was just talking to Ryan Kimball, and Ryan said something very similar. He said, I wish I'd have done this years ago. And whenever we started Integrity, the idea was if we all came together, we could accomplish more. The other part was that we kind of listed out, what do you not enjoy doing, right? What are the things that you don't like to do? And it was pretty universal that most of our partners didn't like to deal with accounting, finance. They didn't like the HR elements of things and working on their benefit plans. They didn't like some of the compliance aspects. Not that they weren't great in compliance, they just, it's a lot of work to do that, and you got to be a specialist. They didn't, love some of the marketing and staying on the cutting edge. It's a lot of work to do that. Most of us, I like to say, couldn't spell IT, and it's true. It's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I know I try to turn it on, and hopefully it works. But it's really this idea that if we could bring all of those resources to bear to take that burden off of your business, then you could go serve more people. Yeah, I say this a lot of times, and people give me a hard time about saying just getting started. After seeing today, I think you would agree we're just getting started.
Oh, wow. The technology, like you said, I mean, I'd be lucky if I could even spell IT. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I like people.
Yeah.
I like talking to people. I do not like that stuff, but it's here.
Yeah.
And it's going to stay here. And when you started showing us around some of the things, I'm like, wow, I didn't even understand it. And you explained it, and I'm like, I'm not stupid, so I kind of get it, but I am sure glad I don't have to do it.
Well, and the great thing is, I'm not sure I understand it either, let's be clear, but the great thing is we get to all do what we're really great at, our God-given talents. We get to really explore those and accentuate those, like being a people person. Like I want to focus on being around people and helping serve people, and then we've got other people who are really amazing at technology. Like God gave them technology talents that I just didn't get, right? We have people who on the accounting finance side, on the benefits side, on marketing and advertising, and so if you all come together, we can do so much more. And I understand that you took an interesting turn to get into the insurance business. You were a golf instructor and a ski instructor, and one of your friends tried to talk to you about becoming an insurance salesman, and you were like, I don't want to sell anything. But what did they tell you about that?
Yeah, so I'm a member of the Professional Golf Association, a member of the PGA, not the tour, but the PGA. And I was a club pro teaching, and I was also skiing, teaching that. And I had a board member. I was at a small golf course in Montana, and I had a board member. I had seen him, and he always had money. He was always nice, but he would come into my pro shop and just pay cash for everything. I'm like, wow, I like this guy. And he came to me one time, he goes, Brad, you're a really good teacher. How'd you like to make some real money? Well, I just had my second kid. I'm not making a whole lot of money in Montana. And I'd seen him. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm interested. What do you do? He said, well, I'm in insurance. I went, I don't want to sell insurance. He goes, I don't want you to sell it. I want you to teach it. Huh. And I went, that's unusual. And he hooked me. And that's how I built everything that I did. I taught my agents everything. We teach people. Yeah. We're not trying to sell them something. We're teaching them. Then they just pick the product and we get it to them.
Man, I think that is such a good analogy. it's such a good life lesson. Like I don't want to sell stuff. I'm not that good of a salesman, but I really love serving people. And I think that that's one of the things, even in our core value of service, I realized years ago that we're not a sales company. We're a service company.
Yeah.
And if you think about that, what happened is it just turned my world upside down, changed my whole paradigm, because then it gives you more purpose. And when you have more purpose, you've got so much opportunity that you can help people. And so as you think about serving people by teaching them, then it also takes the pressure off of, well, I didn't sell them, I didn't do all, and it takes the kind of that weirdness. Nobody wants to be sold,
Exactly.
right? But they do want to be taught. Like I'm passionate about learning and I love great service. And so if you think about being able to be able to work with somebody who can help you with that, man, there's so much power in that. How'd you find this love for teaching in golf, teaching in skiing, teaching in insurance? How did you find that love for teaching?
Well, I love golf. I played all the sports. I played everything, and golf was the first sport I couldn't conquer. Well, in my own mind, at least. And I just couldn't conquer it. It was like, this is hard.
Yeah,
and then
it's you against the ball.
It's like, I can't blame the refs. I can't blame anybody. It's just me. And when I hit over in the woods, there's no one to blame but me. So I was really into that, and I tried to make the tour. I saved up money, and for about 6 months, I was in my early 20s, I tried to get on. Back then, this is really old, there wasn't even a mini tour. It was just the tour, and then you play in state opens and different tournaments.
Right.
And I tried to play for about 6 months, and at the end of the 6 months, I realized I'm not that good. I mean, I thought I was good, but I'm not that good. That's that cream of the crop. I'm like,
there's always a next level.
Oh man, I'm just a step below that. I'm not going to make it. So I was smart enough to realize I'm not going to make it. So those who can't make it, teach. And so I got into the golfing business, and he said I loved it. I love golfing because I'm a people person, and I love serving them. I loved helping them figure out things in their golf game. I loved helping them figure out what clubs they might need. You know, when I was doing that. And skiing is the same thing, you know, and I got into skiing and was able to teach that. And I think if you're gifted in something, you're gifted in whatever career you take, you know, and anybody who's good in insurance could be good at a lot of other things too, but we just chose this for whatever reason. And like I said, for me, it was, you know, that aspect of teaching and serving. In 25, I think I'm in my 26th year of doing this, I tell people I've only taken a vacation for 3 days where I didn't answer phone calls.
Yeah.
And my family knew right up front. I said, we can go on more vacations. We can do a lot more things, but I'm going to work every day we're gone. I'm going to answer those phone calls. It only takes sometimes 20 minutes, but man, those clients love it when you serve them. Yeah. And they just bond with you, and they become, a lot of them have watched me grow up with my kids. They kind of talk about, Brad, how are your kids doing? And it becomes a relationship. It's not just selling something and see you later. And I love that about integrity, by the way. Yeah. I see that with you. I've seen that with everybody. There's that family atmosphere that, hey, we're all in this together. We're not just selling you something or we're partnering with you to go do your thing. We're here for you. Well,
thank you for saying that, because it's a passion of mine. And I think everybody here to really come together and help more people. There's so much there, talking about the phone calls and being available. I think you can be too available and things, but I've never been afraid of that. And I've always thought, as I've told my family, even on vacations, like, this is how we pay for things we get to do, is because I'm always available. And my rule is, as I try to get back to you the same day, regardless. And people respect that. I mean,
they do.
Most people don't take advantage of that.
Our family understands because we go to we're at Disney World. I'm not going to answer the phone while I'm at Disney World. But when we get back that night and the kids are settling into bed, luckily Colorado's 2 hours later than Florida, so, it works out better.
Yeah.
Because I can make my phone calls at 8 or 9 at night and it's 6 or 7 back in Colorado. But they knew that's how the game was. But it was a great game. I mean, it's awesome.
I agree. And it was interesting. We're getting ready to go out of town for spring break, and my son, I went home early on Friday because we were leaving on Saturday, but I had to work. I had a lot of phone calls I had to be on, and my son got out of school half day, and he comes in, and he's sitting in my home office, my home office, man, is pretty fancy. I still live in the same house I did when I founded Integrity, and it's a guest bedroom. And my desk is one of those plastic pop-up tables I bought from Walmart. So it's not anything fancy. So I don't want to confuse you here. But so Shiloh was, I'm sitting there working and making some phone calls, and so Shy came in, and he laid on the bed, and he was waiting for me. He wanted me to go play catch with him. And I said, in a little bit. So I was on the phone. So it was interesting. He just hung out with me and was just laying on the bed listening to me, talked to some of our partners. I got off the phone, and he goes, Dad, why do you talk on the phone so much? So he's 8. He goes, why do you talk on the phone so much? And I said, well, this is how I work. We have a lot of people that have questions they need direction on, or they've got ideas they want to brainstorm on, or we're talking about a new product or a new opportunity. And that's how I work, is we it's a people business. We talk about things. And he goes, and you make money doing that. And I go, yeah. So we make money. So that's how we're paying. Like, I've got to do this because that's how we're going. We were going to Montana skiing. And I said, that's how we're going to Montana skiing.
Where'd you go in Montana?
We went to Whitefish.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It was beautiful. So I said, that's how I'm paying for us to go skiing tomorrow.
Exactly.
And he goes, that's so simple. I go, yeah. You can see his wheels turn in his mind. He goes, that's so simple. So you make money just talking to people on the phone, and most of them are your friends? And I said, yeah. He goes, wow, that's so much easier than being a professional football player. I might be a business person too. And so it's funny because you could see it playing out. I think he loves football. He's a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan, and I'm thinking
Him and my son get along great.
I think he's thinking he's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes, which he's got the wrong genetics for that. But so it was so funny because I think he was thinking, maybe I shouldn't worry about playing football. And I go, well, why do you say that? And he goes, man, you can get hurt playing football. You can't get hurt talking on the phone. So it's so funny as you think about just a little kid, mindset. But I love what we get to do. And you think about, how simple it really is and how many people we can help. And you talk about teaching people. You were teaching two different things. So teaching golf is you teaching somebody to overcome and to get the right swing and get the right plane. And a lot of times you're teaching them to not get so frustrated, right? Don't grip the club so hard. Don't swing so fast. Trust the process.
Well, golf, I think golf is a great life story. It's got all these things about it. Golf and insurance are real similar. You got a lot of things involved with it. You want to be good at golf, you want to be good at anything, you better practice.
Yeah.
And you better be there.
Yeah.
It's not something you do 9 to 5.
Right.
You are going to be there, you get there early, whatever. And it's the same thing with insurance. And in golfing, I tell people, when you're playing golf, you're trying to be the best you can.
Yeah.
But there's days that just don't go right.
Yeah.
I've missed 3 one-foot putts in tournaments. I know every one of them. I remember every one of them. I hated every one of them. You miss it. And you just got to be, it happens, and you go on. And in insurance, you have those gimmies that you think are gimmies. And all of a sudden, you don't get that sale that you thought was a gimme.
Yeah.
And you focus on that for a second, but you also realize, you know what? I'll remember not to do that next time. And you just go to the next hole. And then sometimes on the next hole, you end up in a bunker. You think it's not going to be really good, and you hit that just miracle shot. You get that lady you just don't think is going to do anything with insurance, and all of a sudden you say the right thing, or she just decides you're a person or whatever, and they buy from you. Yeah. And it's just like you hit it out of the bunker, knock it right next to the hole, and you go, oh, that worked.
Yeah. And you can't get too high, you can't get too low. It's you got to be consistent. The interesting thing is there's a lot of things you can learn, similarities of life by golf and business and tying all that together. Skiing is also interesting because skiing, it is just you and the mountain, right? So golf is just you and the club and the ball. Skiing is just you and the mountain. So my wife's never been a great skier. Please don't tell her that. No, she knows. But she's been working on it. Man, I got to give it to her. One of the first times we went skiing with the boys, they were young. I told her, I said, Robin, you're going to have to get some lessons. And I'm not trying to be rude, but the boys are going to get better than you pretty fast. And you're going to, it's going to get really frustrating. The next day, we're skiing, and she's snowplowing down the mountain. And the boys, they've skied like one day before, and now all of a sudden it clicked. It's so much easier when you're young. It clicked for me. They're going down. I go, Robin, that day I was talking about is here. Like it happened way faster than I thought. Like we got to get going here. But so she still takes a lesson everywhere she goes. But for her, it's overcoming fear, right? It's overcoming like that I can make this turn and I can go a little faster than I thought. So it's not frustration. It is frustrating it's so frustrating for some of us as well. But it's about like overcoming that fear and getting comfortable on the mountain.
I've got a great analogy with skiing for you, because in skiing, you get those people who just don't want to take lessons. And you can always spot them on the ski resort. They're flying down the hill, and eventually
they're going to get
hurt.
crashing. Or they're going to hurt somebody. They're going to hurt themselves or somebody else. Man.
Exactly. And you get these people that come in insurance, and they just don't think they can, we'll just go, no problem. And they just go full boat, but they never get taught. They don't, they're not learning. They're not with the right people.
Yeah.
And they just crash and burn. And yet, you don't have to be the fastest one out there. All you have to do is get down the mountain.
Yeah.
And if you just take your time like your wife, and you're getting instruction, you make it down. And you need the help of others.
Yeah.
You've got to have the help of others. You're just not going to make it on your own.
Well, and that's where I think it's interesting how when you're meeting with the client, a lot of times they're frustrated and afraid because they've never made this decision. There's a lot of decisions about their Medicare needs or life insurance, and they're confused. And if you're not good at something, you get frustrated a lot of times. So you're confused because I don't understand this. And then you're also afraid. You're like, I can't make a bad choice here because I'm going to need this healthcare coverage, or I know my family's going to need this life insurance coverage. And so you've got to really focus in on that. And it's interesting as you kind of think about the way that the calling you've got on your life, really about teaching others, whether it's golf, whether it's skiing, whether it's about insurance. You've been able to guide people through that to help them make the right decision. And that's the other part is you can't really do it on your own. I'm not saying you can't learn golf on your own, but it'd be a whole lot harder to do that.
There's not a whole lot of tour players out there, if any, that didn't have instruction.
And still getting instruction.
That's
so
correct.
The best and the best they've got a nutritionist, they've got a golf, swing coach, they got a putting coach sometimes, they've got all sorts of coaching. And that's kind of what I think here at Integrity is we're trying to bring all the best of the best together. All the best ideas, best practices, best technology, best resources, best products, best support, best carriers. We bring all of that together, and then you can benefit from each one of these different things so that we can all do more together. And that's why I'm so excited that you're joining us today, because the opportunity, I think, for us to continue to teach others and ultimately serve others by doing that is super exciting.
A tour player, and I know some, I never made it to the big tour, but the tour players, they have to have back support. If they want to play the best they can play, they have to have a manager, they need that caddy, they need the nutrition. If they don't have that back support there doing the other stuff, they cannot perform well. Yeah. And that's kind of my feeling with coming with Integrity is I was to the point I was doing everything.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm not a tour player, but I'm still, a good player.
Yeah.
And I needed that. You need that back support. I just don't want to do it anymore. I can't perform anymore. I'm too tired. I want to spend what I'm good at.
Yeah, you can't carry the bag. You can.
But you will not perform your best.
You're not going to perform your best, and you can't go as far as you want.
Exactly.
Right. So if you want to consistently do it every day, you can certainly carry your own bag. You can certainly do all those different things. But man, they make carts for a reason, right? But also, that's the thing about a caddy who can also help you read the putt. I've played with a caddy a couple times. I'm not a golfer, but I played with a caddy a couple times. It's a game changer because they can say, you need to putt it over here, and the ball's over, or the hole's here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, don't hit it very hard, but hit it right to this point, and it's going to fall in. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's a game changer by having that support. Right. And that's part of what we're trying to do here at Integrity is being able to give you that support, back you up in some of those areas so that we can take that burden off of you so you can do what you're really good at. And that you think about that is all of a sudden then you can just go out there and swing and hit the ball.
A tour player has to have a manager. Has to have it.
Yeah.
Because there is so much that has to happen, so much going on. He just wants to go play golf.
Yeah.
He wants to get out there. That's me. I just want to sell insurance, quote unquote. I'd rather teach, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm teaching people insurance. I like being with the people.
Yeah.
I don't want to do any other stuff. I saw your technology here, and I'm like, and you guys got a lot of stuff coming. And I'm like, one, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Two, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And it allows me just to go, and I'm going to be able to do what I want to do now.
Yeah.
And that is just be with my clients, and build my base.
Well, we're excited to have you as a partner. We're honored to be your back support and to be able to be there to help you serve even more people and teach more people about the benefits of everything that we're doing. And I hope everybody sees why I'm so excited about adding incredible partners like Brad here, just to show the opportunity for all of us to come together. By coming together, and it was really the idea of integrity. If we all come together, we can all accomplish more. And be that back support, as you call it, for each other and ultimately serve more people. So thanks again for joining today's Inspire podcast. Brad, thank you for joining us. I'm honored to be your partner and honored to be with all of you guys and to serve you as we go and teach more people about their life, health, and wealth needs. God bless you all and have a great week.